Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I hope we are well. Just doing my checks. Like I say every time, don't know why I bother, because I know I shall be there, but I shall be frozen. And yes, there we go, we're frozen. But as I say, it does sort itself out. Yeah, don't know why it's like that, but it is. But never mind, we'll just ignore that. I hope you've all had a lovely week. First of all, I want to apologise. Sunday, I did say that on Sunday I'd be putting up quite a few pictures. Well, last Thursday I said, I was going crafting on Sunday and that I'd put up pictures, and I put that one lot up and that was it. So I'm sorry about that. I just got engrossed in what I was doing, and it really didn't cross my mind till after that, oh dear, I haven't took any more photos. So I'm sorry about that. But it was a lovely day. Lots of chit chat. I managed to get 3 double page spreads made, so that's good. So I've got in fact, I think I've got 4 pages left to do from the virtual album retreat. So I'm looking forward to getting those done. I tend to just do those as and when in my own time. That's crafting for me to sit and enjoy. So yeah, not that I don't enjoy this, obviously, but that's just when I put a video on and I sit and I craft. Right. I had no idea what I was going to do today, as per normal. But I figured something out. I've got a couple of ideas where we're going. We're still on with the Beautiful Ordinary Life suite and accompanying stamp bundle that's part of that. So yeah, I don't think I've got anything else to tell you. My 50% retired sale is still going on. It's 50% off on my website of my retired and pre-loved products. So do go and check that out. Paper Pumpkin's still going. We've got the joining offer, the new ink pads, the new catalogue, new kits, new online exclusive. It's all going on. Head over to the website and it's all on there, and my Stampin' Up shop. So, right, let's switch cameras and then we can do some crafting. Don't forget to pop on and leave me a comment. Say hi if you're watching live, or if you're watching on the replay or on YouTube. Do leave me a comment. I do read them all. I'm not saying I read them within a couple of days, but within a week I will read them. Right, so my thinking is today, starting off simple. I ordered another pack of the Floral Flight Accents. I didn't want to use sounds terrible, isn't it? I didn't want to use them. I'd only got one pack and I didn't want to use it. I wanted to use it, but I didn't want to use it. So I ordered me another pack. And plus I want some for my album that I've been making. I don't want the heart. Let's pop all these out. Yeah, I want some for my album, for my trip to Cologne. For those that don't know, each year Stampin' Up does an onstage event. They do them in each of their areas. So we have South Pacific, the US, and Europe. And it's a 2.5 day, 3-day get together where we have lots of business chat, learn lots about what's happening, what's upcoming. But also it's lovely to get together with people, see each other that we haven't seen from year to year. It's good fun. Most people tend to stay a little longer if it's possible, feasible, affordable. and you just get to see the little place that you're in. And this year we went to Cologne. I met up with lots of fellow demonstrators there, and we went out for meals and did a boat trip and stuff. So I've got lots of photos. We do stuff like that each year. So each year I pick one of the suites, or if the actual event is based, the decorations based around the suite, I'll use that to create a little mini album for my photos. Well, this year I've picked this suite to use. So I've made the album, I've base decorated the album. I've been waiting for all my photos to be printed, and I believe I've now got all those. So now I can go ahead and start adding my photos and decorating. This is a lot more fiddly than I thought it was going to be. This is just going to be a video of me sitting here pushing pieces out. No, it's not. I promise. But I really wanted to use this just to show you as well how quick and easy cards can be. My cat is trying to squeeze down the corner. That little corner, and by the French doors, and the curtains come down, and I've got a load of packing paper in the corner, and the cat's trying to squeeze down there. And it's one of my larger cats that's trying to do it. I don't know if you can hear it, all the rustling. Quickie, I don't think you'll fit. Bless her. Nearly there. But yeah, I just want to show you how you can create really quick, easy, simple cards with these. But this is more of almost a chipboard. It's a lot thicker than just cardstock, which is great. But it does mean that when the bits are stuck in, that little bit tougher to pull out. But there we go. I mean, how gorgeous is that? Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, something else is falling now. I've got another cat under here knocking things over. So I thought we'd make a card with that, and we can bring in some of our papers. And I just want to keep it really simple. And I think I'm going to use this Flirty Flamingo piece. Don't want to lose that heart that's come out with it. It's going to be one of those days where everything's just falling. Yeah, I thought that would be quite nice just on there. Now I just want to measure the size of this, because I think this might be bigger, yeah, than our standard card. So I'm going to do a larger card, which is something I don't do very often. I don't even think. I've got some 4x4 envelopes. No, what's those envelopes I've got? Just check. Oh, reach to the back. What are these? Oh, 5x5. That's not going to be big enough either. But never mind. So we'll go with a large 5x7. And I'm going to do white. Basic white card base. And yeah, 5x7. I don't want it quite A5. I'm going to trim it down because I want that to fill. We chop this down for 7. And I know lots of people, there's lots of different card sizes you can use, and lots of people use larger cards. Chop that at 10, and then we'll score at 5. I used to make a lot of larger cards, and then when I come to Stampin' Up, I started making smaller ones due to the fact that it was more cost effective, and the images are aimed at that sort, or were more so then, seemed to be aimed at that size of project. All right, so we've got our card base, which, see, that fills nicely. And then I'm going to cut my card paper, and I'm thinking lighter or darker. I'm thinking to go darker. Flirty Flamingo, that's more of a petal pink. This is a Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to cut this, because I'm working in inches now, because I've done a 5x7. I am going to cut this at 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. That again. Let's get our 6 3/4. As far as my idea for this went, it was to use that to make a simple card. So I haven't thought past there, which is why I'm crafting on the fly. And I think we will put a black mat behind that, just to allow that to pop a little bit. I haven't got any scrap pieces. Let's grab a piece of basic black cardstock. I have one. So we will make this 4 7/8 by 6 7/8, and that'll give us an 1/8 of an inch gap or mat all the way around. And it might be that I trim it down just a 1/16 to make it that little bit thinner. But no, actually, I think that works okay. Oh my gosh. The cat has now just knocked everything flying. Yeah, I think that works quite well on there. And that is what we'll go with. Liking that. Get that on there. And then we can have one of our labels, or a border across, or something. I know, if we did a strip in one of these borders, might not be this one. This one might be a little bit too fancy. But if we had a strip of a border, maybe it'll go behind, and then we can have a label with our sentiment inside. Do think that is perhaps a bit fancy, so let's find something that's just a little bit plainer, simpler is a better word. And I am thinking just a scallop, and I like that little scallop. That's quite a nice, neat little scallop. So let's grab a piece of basic black that is wide enough, and that's the offcut, so we definitely know that's wide enough. And we shall cut ourselves a border. And what I'm going to do is just use the thickness of this for now. Trim it off one edge, lining it up with the edge, and then use some repositionable tape just to hold that down. You could use washi tape or anything just to hold it, and I'll run that through and we'll see how thick we want to make it once it's on there. Carefully remove that because it can tear the card sometimes because it is quite sticky. I do sometimes remove the sticky or some of the stickiness. Right, so I'm thinking keep that up, something like that, and then we've got that. Actually, I quite like it wide, and we could wrap some white twine and have a bow on there. So let's give that a go and see what that would look like. And sometimes it is just a matter of going for what you think and trying it and seeing. I don't always get it right. As you've possibly seen, I make quite a lot of mistakes in my designing and think, yeah, change my mind. That doesn't look quite how I expected it to. Right, we'll just go around twice. I'm only doing it loosely at the moment just to get an idea. I like that, and with having the crisscross lines in the background, it mimics that. Right, so what I'm going to do is pop and tack. Yeah, I think that tape's empty. That's got to go in that bin. I've now got myself a recycling bin and a non-recycling bin. So that I can try and be really good. I'll just add a bit of stamping seal on there. And then if I leave enough to be able to do a bow at some point, then we'll wrap that over and stick that. And put it up to the opposite side so that it will crisscross. In fact, no, that's going to crisscross it on the back. I don't want it to crisscross on the back, do I? We'll just have that straight across and then oops, up to the opposite corner. There's probably a much simpler way to do this. There we go. We'll wrap that around there and along. And then we can have that to tie wherever we want to tie it. I'm just going to chop it off there. Put that to one side. We shall glue these pieces together. Leave a card base for now. We'll pop our paper onto our matte layer. I can't speak very well today. I don't know what's going on. I am tired today. Not that that's anything unusual for me to be tired. Right, so I'm going to stick this on. And I just want to pop that on so that I can see whereabouts I want it to be. Do I want it higher or lower? Let's have a look. If we wait higher, it'll be lower. I'm thinking lower, and then that'll go over the top. So let's glue this into place. I'm just going to put some glue at the very top, because the tape in between will help it stick as well. Right, so I'll pop that across there. And then we'll have a bow along here. That hasn't stuck. Come on, stick down. There we go. I'm a bit fingers and thumbs, so I am going to tie a knot first. Unfortunately, my hands don't always do what I want them to do. And when I'm tying bows, it's at its worst. So I tend to find that if I tie a knot, that'll hold it, and then I can tie my bow. And because it's only twine, it's okay with having a knot. It doesn't make it too bulky. Not like if you were using a thicker ribbon. Right, I'm liking that. Trim that off. There. Then we can grab this. That doesn't want to stick, does it? Come on, Tombo, stick. I'm going to pop this above my black strip, but below, underneath my twine. And then I'm just going to add some dots of glue just on these bigger leaves. Just hold it down. That'll be fine. And I can put that somewhere like so. Give that a good press. All right, so sentiment. We've got some lovely sentiments in here. This is a beautiful life. I love that, but they're not quite right for my card. So I'm going to bring in another stamp set. Oh, in fact, no, I will. You could make it really simple and use one of the greetings for all. Let's have a look what we've got and what one of those would look like. Because these are just black and white, and we've got that. To me, I like it. I like the style, but I'm wondering if white on black is better. Now, I know this is Merry Christmas, but it would just stand out maybe that little bit better. Congratulations. Yeah. Do like the sending hugs though. What we got? A thank you. No. A sorry. A thanks. Those are the two at the moment. Best wishes. I think that might get a little bit lost. Yeah, that's a little bit lost. Thinking of you. Happy Mother's Day. I love you. So we've got that thinking of you. I think it needs to be bolder, the font. And we have this thinking of you. Yeah, that's better. The fonts needed to be bolder. So we are making a real simple card today. For this one, it's quite literally, I will use these. These dimensionals are out of a kit. We haven't had to stamp anything. Keeping it very simple, using what we've got. And this thing, sometimes you need a card and you need it to be quick and simple. And by having things like this in your stash means you can do that. Let's put that so it's in the middle. And then we can tuck that underneath where we want it. Don't want that. There we go. Faff with that a moment. Push that down so that's flatter. See, I like that. I think that looks okay. Then we'll just burnish our card. We can add that onto there. And because it's quite heavy because of the card, I do put a bit of extra glue onto what I normally would. So it probably doesn't need it. Give that a good press down. Just want to make that one a little bit smaller. That one. That's better. I mean, you can fiff and faff with this for ages, couldn't you? There we go. That's better with it coming over like that. Right, we want some embellishments. And I think I'm going to keep it quite simple again. No colour. I have got the iridescent pearl basic jewels, which I think would look nice. How about keeping it very simple, very basic with rhinestones? No. Being as it's a bit of a thinking of you card, we'll go with pearls. I mean, you could use the array of dots. They would look nice, the flirty flamingo. But I just want to keep the background to the only colour. And we'll just add a few of these roundabout. I love these. Yeah. Go with anything really. I'm going to add some extras up and about. Just because I can. There we go. Just dot that. And that is our first card done. And I think that, for a quick, simple card, looks fab. I mean, who wouldn't love to receive that? No one knows it's only taken you a few moments to create. That's that one. We will do another one, and I'm going to use my card sketches from my card sketch box. Each week I will use that to create one card. Come on. And these new packaging that we've got are perfect for these. I've now got them for all my mix and match ephemera packs, and it just keeps them tidy together, and they take up no space whatsoever there on my shelf. Right, let's move that. We don't need that. Have our glue, and let's grab our box of sketches, and we'll pull out number 3. So we've got a card base, a layer, a sentiment, some shapes, a bit of foliage if we want, or interest, some splattering, and another piece down here. So let's get making with this. So I think my base, I'm going to go for a coloured base rather than white this time. And I think we shall have, so I might use paper actually, some nice pretty paper. Put those away. Grab some more of our DSP that we've got. And I think I might go, I do love that. No, we're going to go with this piece for our layer, our B piece. I'm going to go for the measurements on the back. And our B is 10 by 12. Let's tip that way so it's got a obscure edge, not neat. It's already been cut into the design. So 10 centimeters by 12. That's our front panel. And then we want our panel at the bottom here, D, which is 1.5 by 10. And we can have that in a different design with colour. I think something quite deep. We haven't got. How about stripes? No, it needs to be a solid colour. Yeah, I'm just going to pick out the Lost Lagoon, I think, and we'll just pick a piece of cardstock, find a scrap. Here we go, and we can cut that at 1.5 by 10. Drop it. And 10. I'll have it that way. That fits at the bottom there. Then we've got our sentiment on C, which is 1.2 by 8. I'm going to cut a white piece. That's 8. This is for our sentiment. And 1.2. There we go. That's our sentiment. I might change my mind and do a coloured sentiment, but that's what we're having for now. There we go. We've got that. And that will go straight onto our card base, but I might change my mind and do another layer, add another layer in. but for now, that's what we like. Right, so we want 3 elements of different sizes. So I am going to use, what have we got in our dies? I'm going to use this one for the large. Oh, no, I won't actually. I was going to, but I can use the frame. I think the frame will be nice on there. And then we've got 2 smaller elements. And I'm going to use the hexagon. And my final element, I'm going to pull from here, which can be that. And I think that you can't see, can you? I'm so sorry. I've gone off. So I've got my large element here with my frame, my sentiment, and my 2 smaller elements there. So let's die cut these. And I think I'm going to go, I think the big one will have lemon lolly, because that's part of the colours in the paper. And the colour coordination is one thing that drew me to Stampin' Up to begin with, because the inks, the paper, the card, everything all is the same. You've got the colours in each one, so you don't have to worry about trying to match your ink to your card stock, and that, you know, it's going to match. And then the colours that are in the papers match too. And each of the papers, it tells you on the packs and in the catalogue and online what colours are in them. So it's easy to match up what you need for each project. All right, so if that's lemon lolly, I will push the things out after. So we've got our lemon lolly there. That can go in the bin. Right there. I'm going to do this piece in, I think that might look quite nice in Flirty Flamingo, maybe. Let's have a look. There. Just looking through my scrapbooks for a piece that's big enough. Oh, is it? No, not quite. That would have been lucky. Here we go. Let's die cut that. But yeah, I love the colour coordination that they have. Makes it so easy. So we've got that. And then our final little piece here, I'm thinking pool party. Let's try. Oh, I've got a little heart. I'll save our little heart on there, just in case. Yeah, pool party, keeping it quite soft colours. Back under. That will be under there, like so. I'm liking that. So I'm loving this suite for is all the shapes and that you can, that are part of it, and you can just mix them up, and Yeah, they look great. Right, so let's stick this onto our card base, and I am going to go white because we've got a lot of colour there. Let's grab a basic white card base. I haven't got one made. We shall make one. We shall score in half at 10.5 and then chop it at 14.9. Some people do 14.8 because the measurement is, I believe, 14.85. But it really doesn't matter. It's so negligible. And if you butt it up against something before you fold it, you'll get it right anyway on the fold. Burnish that. All right, move those out the way. We don't want those. Okay, bring in our sketch and our pieces. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to stick my D that just so happens to be more or less the same colour as on the sketch. I'll glue that down if I can get my glue to work. I don't want to put it in there because that's my paper bin. Or that one that's my rubbish bin. There we go. And then we can pop this, make sure it's opening at the bottom, because this goes right down to the bottom and centered left to right. There we go, nice. And then we can pop this on top. There. It's a bit of a different layout for me, this. I've never had, or don't believe I've ever created anything that isn't equal gaps top to bottom. So having a gap at the top but not at the bottom is yeah, a little bit odd. Now we need to have a little bit of interest here where we have some splatters. So I am going to choose I'm thinking black. Now I know that might sound odd, but I'm then thinking I can use black for these. So bear with me. Trust me. She says. No, don't. No, you can. Let me just grab my scrap just so that I can see. Yeah, I've still got the same piece, I know. How, right, that's quite tight on. And that's how I want it to do. There we go, just that little tiny bit on there. It's not a lot. I think we'll be right. Now, I'm using my right marker. Unfortunately, we don't have right markers anymore, but you can do that with your blends, or you could just do it with some ink and a brush, whichever works best for you. But because I've got those pens, I'm going to use them, because that means I don't mind ruining them either, because it will eventually ruin the nib. Right, let's push these little pieces out of our frame. You've had to watch me push quite a few pieces out today. I do apologise. I must admit, I'm quite shocked for a Thursday already. It doesn't seem 5 minutes since last week, and I was getting ready to be going away, and yeah. time's just going too fast. Right, so this I'm going to pop like that there on a skew. I'll put some glue on here, just in the larger areas. It doesn't need the whole thing to have glue on it. It's not heavy. Like so. I've covered up the majority of that flicking anyway. And I am going to put this back in the middle just so that it gives me a base for my foliage that I'm going to be putting on top. Okay, that will go there with our sentiment. So I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. I've got no large dimensionals. I have in the pack. I don't want black. I just want one large dimensional towards the top there. Take the backing off, and then I can look at where I want it. So if that's around there, I can pop that there. Nice. Oh. Then I can glue this one flat. There. Like that. My sentiment. So what sentiments did we have? Good times, noteworthy. So now I'm going to bring in another stamp set. I'll just have a flick through here, and we've got sending salutations and banner sayings. I think banner sayings might be a little bit small. I truly appreciate you. Oh, I truly appreciate all you do. Does help if you read it correctly, doesn't it? Or I can have your great friend, it's your birthday, which is from the Words of Beauty. Let's have a look at that. This is an older set. I appreciate, this has got I appreciate you actually. But I'm kind of thinking it's your birthday. This is quite a fun, happy, jolly card, isn't it? So if that will fit, yeah, that'll fit nicely on there. I can stamp that in black. And the cat's come out the corner. She's on my storage boxes at the side of my desk now. I did give myself a clean sheet when I went away the weekend. But yeah, it's not clean anymore. Memento. And we'll have it's your birthday. Just check. Yep, that looks good. Making sure it's well inked up. Somewhat straight. Sorry if you see my head. That's looking about right there. Let that soak in a second. Beautiful. That looks great. And we can pop that on there. I'm not sure. Yeah, I will have it above there. I wanted it under that hexagon or over. But yeah, I think it does look better over. Right, because it's going over my hexagon, I don't need a dimensional in the middle because my hexagon will hold it up. But I want one either side. So that will go like so. Now I haven't pushed that down properly because I want to add some foliage. And I think for my foliage, I am going to use the Floral Flight Accents. Right, so we can have, go away everything. That one's too large, we know that. We've got that one. Oh, that one. I think that's too large. Something out the middle. This one is my favourite. I'm not sure if that's too large. That one I think is too large. I mean, we can cut them down, but we've got that one. You know, I'm kind of thinking that one is our best bet. I like that. That looks okay. And then what I'm going to do down here, because we could have stamped, but I think I'm going to add in some vellum. And just have a look what this one looks like with all the bits out. Because it does make a difference because they're not quite so heavy. Oh, actually, I like that one. We can go for that one, and I could cut one up and put down the other end so that we've got one coming down that way as well. That one's actually smaller. Right. Can't believe I'm doing this. Bing! I cut things up all the time, but this is hurting me to cut these. Oh dear. Pop that way so that the stem isn't coming down with it, and then we can have that there and then our bow on there. That's what I'm thinking. All right, let's do it. That's not stuck down properly yet. It's just in place ready, and that can go there. And then we can pop this little one there. And I do look at the screen a lot when I'm creating online, because I find I can get a better picture for what it looks like by looking online on the screen. There we go, I like that there. And then we can have, it's got a little bow. Do I have any ribbon that would look right? I don't think I do. No. So it looks like twine. I don't think I want the heaviness of black. But we'll give it a go. And it would tie in with those. Oops. I didn't pull through very well. If we just did a little tiny black bow maybe. Actually, that looks okay. Didn't want it to be too heavy with the black. Right, now I can have a bit of a twist and a play. I can push that down now. And then we'll have a glue dot to pop this on. Stick that, oops, pop that on there. And then I'll pop that there, just to give that. There we go, that fits in there nicely. And then we can add some embellishments. And I think we'll have some fun with the array of dots. Get rid of those. Lemon lolly. Yeah, the lemon lolly down here. And then we can have a flirty flamingo up here. And we'll have a little pool party there. There we go. I think we need a middle for our card. We could do the middle for both of them actually. So let's grab some basic ones. Pop that up there. Oh. I've got so much stuff down, I can't get to my trimmer. Right, so I want this at 14.4. And I'll put 2 at 10, and that'll give me a spare. Seem to go through these so quick. I did cut quite a few, though I have been creating. And then this one I want at 4 7/8. I'll do it that width by 6 7/8, just to give a little border around the card, and those bits will go for stamping. Right. I've got this one first, because this one's here. And I think what we'll do is just cut some paper. I'll cut a strip that's 1.5 centimeters so that it matches with the strip on the front, which the paper that matches there. And then just add some glue to there. Pop that on with a little gap at the bottom. And I do like adding strips of DSP to the inside of my cards if I've used it on the outside. I think it's a nice way to carry it through. My hair is really doing my head in. Okay. That one. And then a large card. I think for the front of, for the inside of that, I don't really want paper. I don't think I want anything so bright as the paper. So that little foliage that I cut, that I've chucked back in here and now I can't find there, what I might do is stick that in there. If I pop that middle bit out so that I can see, and then just chop that off, cut the 2 leaves apart so that the one makes a full leaf. There we go. It can go in the bin. And we can, oh, there's another piece there that needs popping out. And we can glue this on the inside panel. And give myself anywhere to grab it. Like so. Twist that in slightly so it's not sticking out. And then I can trim that off where it overhangs slightly. I'll pop this on the inside. Now I need to get some larger envelopes, but that's not a problem. And because I'll have a pack of them, I'll be able to make some more larger cards. There we go. Let's move all those over there. Let's put my lid on my glue. Those away. That's for those. And there we have today's makes. And there, oh, don't want to lose that, but we could pop. Do you know what? The little heart that came out of that die cut hexagon. I'll put that inside too. Right, there you go. So we've used the measurements from our sketch and changed up the shapes. Oh, and then on this one, we've kept it real simple by using DSP and the die cut ephemera pack, the Floral Flight Accents for our main image. Just adding a little banner, some twine to mimic the pattern on the DSP. And then we've used one of our greetings for all sentiments on there, and then just the iridescent pearls, keeping it very simple on that one. So yeah, just shows you can create beautiful cards in two very different ways. One's quite quick, simple, all done for you. And then the other one is doing lots more die cutting and using some of the ephemera as well. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how those have turned out. Very different cards using the same suite of products. Right, so we shall switch cameras and I shall say thank you very much for joining me. I will be back this evening, I believe. I'm back this evening. Don't think there's anything happening. Where we will be scrapbooking. It's a Thursday evening scrapbook. Now, I think I might decorate my album tonight, do some of that, rather than doing another scrapbook page. Get my album done with this suite and show you how I decorate some of that. So yeah, I'll sort my photos. Right, I'm going to pop off and I shall speak to you all later. If not, I will see you next week. Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye.